Welcome to the Financial Banana. Well guys, you're not in the wrong place. You're at the Financial Pickle. I just ran out of pickles. I thought this was gonna be fun and decided to go that route. But welcome to the Financial Pickle. And in this video, I wanna give you 5 tips on how to save money or how to be able to save money if you don't really have the ability or the possibility or you're just not thinking about it. So I wanna go over these 5 tips that they're my personal tips that I actually use in my own life to be able to save some extra money, maybe do a little bit more than I could, and find different ways of actually saving money. And one of the biggest reasons why I want to talk to you guys about how to save money or how to find different tips and tricks of saving money is because in the pandemic we saw a huge increase in people saving money because everyone was worried, everyone didn't know what was going to happen, they were not sure. So the savings went up, but overall over the long trend of time, people don't save much. They save about anywhere between 3 to 6% of their income. That's their savings. And it's been declining actually over the years based on this graph. It's been declining, and this is the graph of savings. But you can see towards the pandemic, it changed. People started saving a lot more because they were worried. And by saving extra, you guys can avoid that. So without further ado, let's get to number 1. So at number 1, and you guys have probably heard this before from your friends, maybe elderly family members, because they've been there, they've done that. But the main thing is, my number 1 thing is pay myself or pay yourself. What does it mean? So once you guys get a paycheck, let's say a direct deposit paycheck, you need to put a small percentage of it away into a savings account, which this is going to segue to the second point, which I'm going to make in a second. But I still want to talk about this a little bit more. The main important thing is to pay yourself. Once you receive that sweet money that you worked for a week, maybe 2 weeks, a whole month, when you get the paycheck or the direct deposit, you should take a certain percentage, up to you, depending on your budget. Everyone is different. But you should take a certain percentage of that money and move it somewhere else where you're not gonna spend it. Move it to another savings account, but always pay yourself. Maybe it's $50 per pay period. Maybe it's $100 per pay period. Everyone can do different things, but you always have to do that. That way you keep something. You get paid for the hard work that you've done, and it's always gonna stay with you. You're not gonna spend it on bills. You're not gonna spend it on rent, for example. You're not gonna spend it on buying fancy things, buying new cars, etc. You're not gonna spend it on that stuff. This is gonna be your personal money. Sort of kind of like your 401k that you have at work, your savings plan, your investment portfolio, you have that, but also extra. You can find $50 that you can put into an emergency fund every pay period. That way the emergency fund can grow. Sort of keep with inflation as well, because usually you don't earn a lot of interest when it comes to your emergency fund. But again, pay yourself first. And the best recommendation for you guys that I have on how to do that is, if you have a direct deposit and you open a savings account somewhere else, you can set up your direct deposit to be split into 2. So you can, without even knowing, without even seeing, once that's set up, you're gonna adjust your budget to what you're actually getting in your main account, and the small portion, let's say it's $50 that goes into this other account, you're not even gonna notice that. But over time, over a bunch of period, over a year, 2 years, it's gonna grow. And at some point, it's gonna start accumulating a lot more. At some point, by increasing your income, you'll be able to save a lot more, and so on. So number 1, that is pay yourself. So number 2, and I kind of covered that in number 1, would be put the money in a different account. Don't keep it in your normal checkings account. Don't even keep it in the same bank where your checking account is. Don't open a savings account there. Open a savings account that's going to be hard to access. Open one of those online savings accounts. There's some that are very secure. Ally Bank is pretty good. Discovery is my personal favorite. I love Discovery savings. And it's kind of hard to access. They make the money available for you when you need it, but it's really hard to access or see in your everyday life because that money is already put in that account and it's there. It's away from your main checking account where all your bills come out, so you have less of a chance of spending that money. In addition to that, your checkings account that the bills are coming out of is going to be a little bit less because yes, you saved some money aside. It's going to be a little bit less, so your budget is going to be adjusted accordingly, and you're going to live more within your means while still saving. On to my 3rd tip: never buy something now. And what does it mean? Usually when you're shopping by impulse, or when you're shopping actually, there's endorphins being released by your brain, your body, blah, 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 whatever. I don't know the science behind it. I'm not a scientist. But you have endorphins being released, and when you're sitting right there and browsing Amazon, or you're on an online website trying to buy something, you have this good feel, this good energy. It's like, I need it now. But take some time. Buy it tomorrow. Get back to it. Get back to it in a week. Get back to it in a month. See if you need it. The more time you spend without having that actual item, it's going to tell you, do you actually need that item or do you not need that item? Sorry, got distracted by a bunch of birds. You can see them right there. But with that distraction, which those birds probably agree with me, just wait a little bit, wait a day, sleep on it, see what happens. For example, let's say you're browsing for a coffee maker and you find one that's like, oh my God, this is an amazing coffee maker, I want it right now. Instead of clicking that buy button currently, just wait a day, wait a few days, see if you can make coffee in any type of different way. See if it's actually gonna bring you happiness by having a coffee maker, or not having it. Is it gonna bring you a benefit to your life? So by waiting just a few days, some people say actually if you wait 30 days, and you still feel the same urgency of wanting that item, and that's gonna benefit your life, to go ahead and buy it. But usually within 30 days, that's more than enough time for you to know that you actually would need this item or not. And this helps you save some money because you're not spending the money right away. The money is sitting more in your checking account. It's there, it's being saved. And the best thing to do is, if you decide not to buy it, just move that money away, put it back in your savings account. That way that savings account is gonna keep growing, and you actually just didn't waste money on an item that you actually didn't need. And my fourth tip for saving money would be actually look at it as, how many hours do I have to work for the item? So let's say you're going out to dinner with friends, or you have a dinner date, or I don't know, you're just hungry and you wanna grab some sushi, for example. Sushi is great. You can get it in different rolls. You can go for 2 rolls, you can go for 3 rolls, but you end up spending more money. So let's say your normal dinner would be 30 bucks for 3 rolls. I like to eat sushi. I love sushi, so I'll probably eat 3 rolls. So let's say it's 30 bucks. How many hours do I have to work for that 30 bucks? I know some people have to almost not work any hours. Other people have to work a lot of hours for 30 bucks. But how many hours do I have to work for those 30 bucks? And after that, you look at it in a different way. You try to save some money. So for me, looking at it, I would say, well, maybe I should buy 2 rolls. I'm more than full with 2 rolls, so that way I have to work less for that money. And this way, it makes me save. And again, I'm saving 10 bucks. I will put that in a different savings account and I'll move on. But it's a very good rule of thumb to look at how many hours do you actually have to work for the purchase you're about to make, or the expense you're about to make. That gives you a little bit of a perspective if you should actually be making a purchase, or you can actually cook at home. Because cooking at home, it's gonna take you, let's say, if you work minimum wage or something like that, let's say you make 10 bucks an hour. Cooking at home, it's gonna only take you $10, for example. You can buy a rotisserie chicken with some bread, whatever, you can figure it out. For 10 bucks, you can definitely have a nice dinner from the store. So that's gonna take you an hour of work, versus when you go out to sushi and you buy 3 rolls, which is gonna take you 3 hours of work. So in that way, once you start looking at it in that type of way, you end up saving a little bit of money. You might not notice it right now, but you end up saving a little bit of money when it comes to that. Okay guys, so I shifted you this way. Maybe you're able to see some of the lightning that's going on behind me, but there's a little bit of storm. This is why I'm kind of sitting on the ground by the windows, because there's not that much light coming in the apartment today. So that's why kind of like the shadows and the lights a little bit off, which I want to apologize for that. Hopefully you guys can enjoy some of the thunder, the rain. I think the cloud actually moved that way, so I don't know, it's shifting everywhere. But let's go with number 5. And number 5, and this is also very important, is looking at money that you're about to spend. What is going to be its future value? So let's go back to our sushi example. Let's say you decide to buy those 2 rolls. What is going to be the future value of that $20 that you're going to spend today? Let's say down the line, let's say you're a young person, you're going to retire in 40 years. How much is that going to be in 40 years with an average return of 7% in the market, which happens all the time? This is what the market has returned about. And looking at future value, that's going to be about 326. I have it written down, sorry. That's about 326 bucks. That the $20 that you're not spending today, it's going to be worth 326 bucks in 40 years. Yes, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, it's 20 bucks, whatever, I'm going to spend that, blah, blah, blah. I totally understand that. But this is another way that you can look at money and and figure out ways of saving money or reducing the cost or the expense that you're having. So instead of buying the $20 sushi, you might buy a $10 sushi, and now you're down to one roll. You can get pretty good fulfillment of one roll of sushi. That's not a problem, right? I'm gonna be hungry, but you know, if you're in a bind and whatever, you need to save some money. This is a way you can look at it. So for example, let's even say $5. Let's say you're at the store and you wanna, you know, buy a pack of gum, which I don't know what the price of a pack of gum is. I haven't bought a pack of gum in a long time. But let's say you buy a pack of gum, it's $5, just round it up for a little bit. Instead of buying the pack of gum, you invest it in the market, it comes up to being about $86 total in 40 years. So when you look at it this way, is this little pack of gum right now that I'm buying, is this worth $86 to me? How many people are gonna say yes? Comment down below. Would you buy a pack of gum for $86? I personally wouldn't, but let me know what you guys think. Would you buy a pack of gum for 86 bucks? I don't think anyone would. But this is how you can look at it. You just end up spending $86 on a pack of gum, or you're buying sushi currently for $380. That's how it is. I'm not saying, guys, I'm not saying starve to death. I'm just saying you can be more reasonable with your expenses. You can look at the expenses differently. I understand you gotta enjoy your life, live your life, blah, blah, blah. But you can be a little bit more reasonable. Again, I started with a $30 worth of sushi. Now I'm down to $10 worth of sushi, and maybe I'll invest the $20 and I'll have 380 bucks in 40 years. Dang, it's gonna be a long time. But it's a little bit better. I'm saving money. This is my main goal, is why I wanted to make this video for you guys, is to show you like different small ways how you can save money. And with a long period of time, let's say 10, 20 years down the road, this 10, 20 bucks that you're saving here and there every other day or once a week, that's gonna grow, and that eventually is gonna become a substantial little nest egg that you can have towards your retirement. Again, I'm not saying just pinch every single penny. That's not a life to be living. But you can look at these steps, you can look at these 5 steps and figure out what works best for you and how you can save just a little bit of extra money that's gonna help you down the line. With all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the 5 tips that I had for you in the ways to save money, and maybe hopefully you guys would use some of them. If you know any extra tips that I haven't mentioned in the video or that I'm not aware of, please comment down below in the comments. What do you guys think? What are your tips? How do you guys save money? I'm very interested to know that. It's a good topic to discuss in the comments, and I think it will lead to great discussions for people that are visiting the channel or people that are subscribed and want to find ways to save money. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'm trying to reach, I think it's 1,800. We're close to that. I'm trying to reach 1,800, maybe 2,000 by the end of the year, hopefully. And if you guys enjoyed this video and if you enjoyed the tips that might help you save a little bit more money, please feel free to smash the like button. That will help me out a lot, and you'll show this video to other people so they can save some money. And with that being said, the Financial Pickle is out. I'll see you guys later.